Welcome to our 2024 Breast Cancer Awareness All-Member Zoom. Our theme this year is Sisters Together, Informing and Supporting. Next slide. Welcome. Let us know that you're here by adding your name, SPN, and chapter to the chat. You want me to go quicker?
No.
I had it good. Wait a minute. Just for you to know, did you know breast cancer doesn't care who we are? It affects 1 out of 8 women. 4% of women are under the age of 40. The rate of getting breast cancer increases after the age of 40, and the highest rate of getting breast cancer is over the age of 70. Okay, next slide. Our co-host for the Zoom event today is myself, Joyce McAloon. I am Connecticut Alpha Gamma and a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Pam Collins is our headquarters support of Alpha Delta Kappa. And Phyllis Robinette is our IT expert for Alpha Delta Kappa and a Colorado state president. Thank you, host. Let me take a moment to introduce the breast cancer awareness team to you. Sisters, please wave when I call your name. Our survivors: Judy Gansert, Jeannie Hinks, myself, Lori Murders, Linda Rizzo, and Allie Surface. Our supporters are Pam Collins, Phyllis Robinette, and Sandy Wolf. Thank you, sisters, for being part of our breast cancer awareness team.
During tonight's event, we have 4 themes that we've woven together during our presentation. We're going to talk about the importance of early detection. We're going to build awareness from some survivor stories. We're going to provide you some education. Hopefully, not all of this will be new to you, but you will get some interesting facts. And we'll learn some stories about how we support our sisters. So to begin with, I want to launch a poll for you. And if you will take the time to go ahead and answer this. Can everyone see the poll? We want to get an idea of who's in the room. And you can choose all that apply. All right, everyone has answered. Let me go ahead and share this with you. So it looks like we have a lot of supporters tonight, as well as some survivors in the room. Thank you for sharing who's here.
So as Phyllis said, our first topic we're going to talk about is awareness and early detection. And so this is just a couple numbers that when we were doing our research really caught my eye. 1/3 of cancer deaths worldwide could be avoided through education and screening. So again, the reason we're here today is to do some education and to give you some good reasons to have your screening done. And that only 4% of women know the signs of breast cancer. So we're going to learn about the signs of breast cancer. We're going to be aware. All right, so this is one of my favorite visuals. This is from an organization focused on breast cancer awareness, and the name of the organization is Know Your Lemons. The founder of this organization lost both of her grandmothers and a close friend to breast cancer, and she created this Know Your Lemons campaign as an initiative to help improve early detection of breast cancer through some visuals and knowing the symptoms and screening education in a fun, accessible, and inclusive way. And the article I read about her said that she created this visual as part of her master's degree in fine art. So that was kind of cool. In addition to the visuals, they've also done some educational videos. So we're going to share with you one of the educational videos from Know Your Lemons, all about, again, awareness and early detection. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm the mayor of Lemonland, and I'm here to help you know your lemons with my friend, Mona Lisa.
I've been checking my lemons for 500 years and have a lot to tell you. A cancerous lump is a lot like a lemon seed because it often feels hard and immovable. It can be any shape or size. This is the lump you investigate. There are two innocent lumps to know. One lump feels like a soft pea. These are your milk lobes, normal. Another lump feels like a soft bean. These are your lymph nodes, also normal. But you need to know how to feel around for these good and not so good lumps. Mayor, do your thing.
Thanks, Mona. Use your 3 middle fingers in circular or up and down motions. Use 3 levels of pressure: light, medium, then deep enough to fill your ribs. Also, fill under the nipple. You need to cover an area that includes your lymph nodes. So start in your armpit, then to your collarbone, and finally work your way down to the bottom of your ribs. Use 2 positions. 1, lay down with your arm behind your head. This flattens everything. 2, bend forward. This brings everything to the front. Finally, look for changes in front of a mirror. Move your arms up and down and turn to the side. See if the whole breast skin moves with you as you move your arms.
And look for these changes.
Because a lump is not the only sign.
Grazie, Mayor. The best time to feel around is 3 days after the end of your period, when everything is most normal. No period? Pick any day you like, consistently each month. Your risk increases with age, so stick with it. I've been checking my lemons, but it's not enough. I also get regular mammograms. Because a mammogram can find a cancerous lump before it can be felt. Just look at my hand to learn the difference. This is the average size of a lump found by accident. A lump through self-exam. A lump found with 1 mammogram. But with several mammograms to compare changes, the lump can be the smallest. If cancer is present in the breast, 8 times out of 10, a mammogram can find it. But if the results come back normal and you're still concerned about something, or if you're too young for a mammogram, ask about an ultrasound if you have a specific lump in mind, or get a new view with an MRI. But the only way to determine if it's cancer is to actually look at the cells, which is through a biopsy. Most lumps turn out to be fine, so don't panic if you need to check it out to be sure. Trust your instincts and know your options. When breast cancer is found early, survival rates are very high. Knowing that I've educated you makes me smile.
Share this app with a friend today at knowyourlemons.com.
All right, so we're talking about early detection, and just a brief recap. They did some good visuals, I thought, that the size of a lump found by accident, 3 fingers, right? Found by a regular self-exam, size of your thumb. Found by 1 mammogram, maybe the size of your pointer finger, but found with regular mammograms, the size of your pinky. So again, our goal is early detection and self-awareness. So our goal is to find it small. So the reason I'm here, or reason part of my story, is my mom. My mom had breast cancer, and she found her first cancer by accident. And as illustrated in the video, it was pretty spot on. Her cancer that she found by accident was the size of a goose egg. So by the time that she found the cancer, it was pretty well advanced, and she fought but lost her battle to cancer at 53. My grandmother, her mother, also had breast cancer. She found her lump. She was very self-aware. Let me back up for just a minute. My mom was a nurse, and my mom was a wonderful mother. So she was an excellent caretaker. I always say of other people, but not necessarily of herself. My grandmother was more aware, found her lump herself through an exam, and found hers when it was the size, she always said, of a nickel. My grandmother then lived to be 87. So again, early detection increases your chance of survival. Awareness increases your chance of early detection. So in my mother's words to her 3 children, and now my words to you, mammograms, be self-aware, catch it small.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Judy Ganzert, Virginia Zeta, and past international president. My cancer was detected in December of 2022. Remember, we had just come out of COVID at that time. And I remember during 2022, I was spending a lot of time making telephone calls to schedule appointments with doctors and dentists and all those people that you didn't see during COVID. And when I scheduled my mammogram, she told me that the next time she could see me, the first time she could see me would be December 29th. And I thought, oh, that's the holidays. I don't want to go have a mammogram during the holidays. But then I thought about it and I thought, okay, it's probably been almost 2 years since I had had one. And well, it'd only take about 45 minutes and then I could go out to lunch. So I went ahead and I scheduled my mammogram for December 29th. Now, at my doctor's office, they're really good about reading the films right away, and you get to go in and they just put all of them up there and say, well, this is how you've looked over the last 5 years, and well, I don't see any change, so I'll see you next year. But this time they didn't say that. They called me in and they said, see this little spot right here? It's a little suspicious. I want you to come in again and I want you to have a 3D mammogram. So within a week, I was back in the doctor's office having the second mammogram. And this time he said, we want you to go have a biopsy. So we went through the process of scheduling the biopsy. Now, the good news is that even though it had been 2 years since I had had that mammogram, the biopsy, well, wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. The biopsy showed that it was cancerous and I needed to see the surgeon. Saw the surgeon, she read all of the films and all of the tests and said, stage 0 to 1. I was really, really, really lucky, especially since it had been nearly 2 years since I'd had that mammogram. But then we had to go through the process of scheduling the surgery, having the surgery, and deciding what the next steps were. The surgery came back and she said, Judy, we got it all. I'm sure we got it all. The margins look clear. There's nothing in the lymph nodes, and it looks like it's non-metastatic. I can't say that word, whatever. It won't metastasize. So that was all really good. But then she said, but as a preventative measure, I want you to have radiation. I went through 20 rounds of radiation, but fortunately I didn't have to have chemotherapy. Again, early detection, stage 0 to 1. It made all of the difference in the world for me. Just about a week and a half ago, I went to see one of my doctors. I see 3 different doctors every 3 months, one every 3 months. And this one happened to be my radiation oncologist. And she said, Judy, when you come back the next time, it will be after 2 years. And you know, I think I'm going to tell you, you don't have to come see me anymore. I'm going to clear you from my schedule. You've graduated. You only have to see doctors twice a year. So again, I'm really, really, really lucky, but it's only because of early detection by a mammogram. Don't ever miss your mammogram. The life you save may be your own. Thank you.
Next up, we'd like to do another poll. We're going to ask you if you have had your annual screening in the last 11 months, or if you've got it scheduled for this month. So I'm going to launch a poll because some of you may answer this differently. Some of you are not eligible to have a screening. So if you would please share with us your status of your annual screening. All right. Carol, did you see it, or did you just come in right after? All right, looks like everyone's answered.
I got it.
Let's go. Thank you. Look at how great we look. Woo, good job. Good job, my sisters. Now I'm going to show you some breaking news and ask you to see if you have joined in the fun. We are currently involved this month in a mammogram-a-thon. Isn't that clever? We have breaking news. I just checked this morning, and we have 288 of us who have answered the question that I just asked you. If you have not answered and participated in the mammogram-a-thon, I am putting that link in the chat now. If you would click that and answer that same question, and you can join in the fun and be reflected in our data.
Hi, sisters. I'm Sandy Wolf, and I'm a member of Virginia Alpha Rho. I'm a past International Executive Board Chairman, and I currently serve as Chairman of the Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation. Have you ever felt like you were unexpectedly in the right place at the right time? Well, let me tell you what happened to me last month. I checked the Google Calendar on my laptop, and I saw 3 invitations to a breast cancer meeting that afternoon. I didn't remember committing to a meeting, but when I saw those 3 invitations, I thought I better find out about this. So at the appropriate time, I clicked on the link and I joined the meeting. The attendees were just chatting amongst themselves before the official start of the meeting, and when I popped in on the screen, they seemed surprised to see me. In fact, Judy Gansert asked, "Sandy, what are you doing here? You're not a breast cancer survivor." I explained the 3 mysterious invitations, and they kindly invited me to stay. As the meeting got underway, I realized I was actually there for 2 purposes. 1, to represent the Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation, and 2, that I did have a story to share. Within the past 2 years, 5 women who are near and dear to me were diagnosed with breast cancer. 3 were Virginia Alpha Delta Kappa state presidents, either past or the current. The 4th was my sister-in-law, and the 5th was a childhood friend going back to 8th grade. I was stunned to be surrounded by so many with a diagnosis of breast cancer. I wanted to support and encourage these special women, but all of them lived at least an hour or more away from me. So I stayed in touch via phone calls, texts, personal visits when I could with lots of hugs, emails, cards, and handwritten notes. A listening ear, a card that brought a chuckle, or an inspiring quote made a difference to each one of them. My sister-in-law's favorite comfort food is Hershey's Nuggets with almonds. So I left a in the refrigerator for her at our family cottage so that she could enjoy them between treatments. My friend from 8th grade is more of a night owl, and I'm more of an early riser, but I was there to listen and talk when her late night calls awakened me. What are some other ways to show support? Well, going back in time 20 years or so ago, another dear Virginia state president had breast cancer, and I sent her a small gift through the mail. Her gift was 4 small stuffed bears, each on a separate keychain that she could take with her to her chemo treatments. I made a name tag for each bear. Of course, there was Agnes Bear, Marion Bear, Hattie Bear, and Marie Bear. The bears took turns accompanying her, and one would be clipped to her purse or her tote bag as she went for treatments. They were reminders of our sisterhood, our friendship, and Alpha Delta Kappa. At our state convention, attendees had been told secretly in advance to bring a hat or a scarf to wear to the luncheon. Imagine her surprise as she stood at the podium and saw a sea of her sisters wearing hats just to show their love and support for her. There wasn't a dry eye in the banquet room. One last memory to share with you. One of my college roommates was diagnosed with breast cancer a number of years ago. I was shopping one day and I found this super soft blanket. I asked my other 2 college roommates to send me like an enlargement of their signature. And I transferred their signatures and mine to the blanket and embroidered our names along with a special message of love. That lap blanket surrounded my roomie with our love as she had her treatments. In the chat box, would you share some ways that you have supported a sister or a friend or a relative with breast cancer while I finish up? With so many dear sisters and friends having been diagnosed with breast cancer, frankly, I was very nervous and scared when I had my mammogram last May, and I prayed all would be well. Thankfully, my report was negative. Make sure you schedule your yearly mammogram and click on the mammogram thermometer on our webpage to help our total rise to new heights. Early diagnosis is so important. My final message to you when you have a friend, family member, or relative who's been diagnosed with breast cancer or a suspicious mammogram is just to stay in touch. Offer your love and support. Bring her a chocolate milkshake, a favorite treat, or a funny book to boost her spirits. Your connection is so important and you can brighten her day. Thank you. Alpha Delta Kappa Connect. If you check Connect, you'll find more stories from your Alpha Delta Kappa sisters. They've shared their insights in the fight against breast cancer. Maybe you have a story that you would like to share. Also, you can join our breast cancer community. There are quotes and stories, videos, and testimonials. Thank you.
Did you know? We wanted to give you some info that we found, which was very interesting and important for all of us to know. The first one is breast cancer is one of the most common cancers in women. Our second one is breast cancer doesn't always come in the form of a lump. Next one, having a male relative who has breast cancer increases your chances of getting breast cancer. Number 4, maintaining a healthy weight can reduce your breast cancer risk. Being overweight or obese, especially after menopause, may raise your cancer risk. Next one, you don't need to learn how to do a self-exam. It's more important to stay aware of how your breasts look and feel. The next one, know yourself, your family's history, and your risks. I know that there are so many more facts that we need to keep in mind, but together we can support one another and keep sharing this info.
Supporting our sisters. What can you do? Hi, I'm Linda Rissel. I'm New Jersey Lambda, and I'm a 3-time breast cancer survivor. Yes. So I just passed my 21st year of being cancer-free. So, meeting Allie Surface for the first time reminded me of a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. With the new day comes new strength. Allie is a member of Texas Epsilon Omicron. She's originally from Oklahoma. Before moving to Texas, she was an operations manager for Oklahoma City Worldwide Airport. After moving to Fort Worth, she became a stay-at-home mom of 4 boys. One just got married, yippee, and a leader within her community. Allie's accomplishments serving her community include serving in presidential roles for nearly all the parent-led organizations, and through a partnership with the city governance, built an all-accessible playground. She also helped to author city planning suggestions for future parks to encompass the education behind all accessible playgrounds and inclusive benefits. For the past 7 years, Allie has served the students and the teachers in her school district as the Director of Education Foundation, spearheading programs designed to enrich and enhance the learning environment in her district. Her list of accomplishments is never ending. Allie is now living with stage 4 breast cancer. She authors a blog that is very transparent and open to what it looks and feels like to experience treatment. Allie's message is one of gratitude for the love of community and how very important we are when we are united through difficult times. Now, I call that real support. Please listen to Allie's inspiring message.
My name is Allie Surface, and I'd like to tell you my story. I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple-negative breast cancer at 43 years old, and it was a tough diagnosis to take. Being so young and starting in this journey of fighting cancer was very difficult and continues to be difficult. But what I would like to talk about is how a sisterhood of women continues to carry me through. I am reminded time and time again of a story that one of my ADK sisters talks about often, the story of the starfish, which I think most of us are familiar with. But it's a story about a man that sees a dancer along a shoreline at sunrise, dancing along the beach, and noticed that she would dance a few steps and then pick something up and toss it into the ocean, and then repeated those steps over and over again until the man approached the young dancer and noticed that she was picking up starfish that had been washed ashore and throwing them back into the ocean. And the man said, "Why are you doing this? There have to be thousands of starfish along the shoreline that stretches miles upon miles. You can't possibly make a difference." And she picked up a starfish in front of his feet, flung it into the ocean, and said, "I made a difference to that one." And I'm reminded of this story, of course, because I have had highly aggressive cancer treatments that have caused immense sadness at times, and of course, physical demands from side effects of chemotherapy. And I would not have been able to make it through that time if it weren't for the many sisters within ADK that have picked me up and flung me back into the ocean so that I can fight each day. I truly am so grateful for this sisterhood of women that God has put into my life. I can tell you that after 59 chemotherapy treatments Let that sink in. We all know the stories of chemotherapy, whether we've been through it or not, of just how harsh it can be on your body. I am sporting a beautiful wig, of course, and just for you, I have tattooed eyebrows. I spent my entire adult life getting rid of facial hair just to pay somebody to tattoo fake facial hair on me. My, how the times have changed. But honestly, I'm able to do those things. I'm able to go to chemotherapy next week because I receive cards in the mail every single week from a new sister. They have provided meals for me and my family. They have driven me to my chemotherapy treatments, sat with me during those 5-hour-long chemotherapy treatments, and taken such good care of me. I honestly am so grateful for these women that continue to help me fight this truly terrible disease. I've now been fighting it for 2 years, and I am in stage 4, triple negative breast cancer now, and I'm on what's called palliative chemotherapy. And I'm not scared. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think tomorrow's a new day for me. You know, Vince Lombardi once said, winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. And I want to win. And my sisterhood at 80K want me to win too. And I take great solace with that. And my goal in talking about this journey that I've been through is to help another person understand the importance of taking care of their health, taking charge. You are able to curve your chances and likelihood of late stage cancer treatment if you can receive those proper testings every year. Get your mammograms, self-check, and then just know that if the day arises when you're told those awful statement words that an oncologist has to deliver, that you have cancer, you can fight it just like me. And you have a sisterhood that will help you do it too. Thank you for listening to my story.
And sisters, before we go on, Allie is joining us tonight. So Allie, here's to you. Pam, this is you.
Life lessons for a breast cancer survivor. Again, some words of wisdom from our friends who are survivors. Number 1, remain vigilant and continue to advocate for your health. Number 2, live one day at a time. Number 3, stay optimistic. Number 4, lean on others for support. Number 5, know the warning signs for reoccurrence. 6, adopt a carpe diem attitude. Let yourself live a little. Become an advocate and use your experience to help others. And always remember that laughter is always good medicine. So we're going to next share with you a video about mammograms. And you may think there's nothing funny about a mammogram, but I challenge you to think otherwise. I had my first mammogram when I was 30. So I've now had over 30 mammograms, but I still think back to my first mammogram and how I was very concerned. I just didn't have very much information. And information would have been really helpful. And that's kind of the theme of this video. This is a video by Anita Renfro, one of my favorite stand-up comedians. And she's going to teach us all a little bit about what to expect from a mammogram. This is part of an actual album that she did called Personality. Another fun story of how you can tell about a woman by the purse that she carries. Just saying. Probably true.
I was pregnant for a third
Phyllis is
time.
gonna
We
zip us
learned
ahead
that
here,
we had a fatal
through
hemorrhage.
all the YouTube
Dealing with abortion is
commercials that we get
difficult
to play
enough
with
without the
when we decide to
government
put on
telling you
YouTube,
what you
and
can
get
and
us
can't
to the
do.
chapter
Amendment
where
79 puts the
Anita
right
has
to
done
make decisions about
her
abortion into the Colorado
educational video
Constitution.
on what we should all know about mammograms. There's the beginning, and here we go to the mammograms. Thank you,
Well,
Phyllis.
I'd like to find out. My grandmother actually was the reason that I had to go at 39 in my life and get my very first baseline mammogram. How many of y'all have had that blessing? Yeah. Ooh, everybody just went, ooh. Yeah. Because they want you to come in at 39 because they know that at 40 your body starts falling apart like toilet paper in a rainstorm. And so they want you to come in and get one while you're still happy. So they want you to come in and they want to just get a good picture, and you're really supposed to appear topless in film. Hopefully for the first time in your life. And this is like one of those instances where if you just had a little bit more information, you could have been a little better prepared for this. But they don't give you any information. They give you a piece of paper that says, go get one on this day. And underneath it has one instruction. This is the cruelest thing I've ever read. Do not wear any deodorant or antiperspirant or talcum powder on the day of your test. God knows if there was ever a day in your life you needed some deodorant. This is the one. So you go in, and it was all pretty good when it started out, because I went up to Kennestone Hospital right up the road here, where they have a mammography unit in the women's section of their hospital. And so it's very cool because it's decorated very femmy. And the walls are pink, and the carpet was pink, and the furniture was pink, and the clipboard I signed in was pink. And I thought, how bad can it be? It looks like a Mary Kay party. Let's roll. So they took you back into the room, and they handed me the top. You know what top I'm talking about? This top has 2 ties, 2 holes, and no instruction. So being a college graduate, I thought I could reason my way through this thing. I thought to myself, well, if the test is for this, that must be what they want out the holes. And it didn't fit very well. I thought maybe they just gave me the wrong size top. Thank the Lord I had the good sense to crack the door open and see how everyone else had theirs on. And I quickly turned it around. It fit way better the way they had it. So I went on out the door and down into the waiting area. And what is amazing about this whole process is in that waiting area, there are 9 other women waiting to do the same thing. I don't know why they scheduled you all at the same time. But in this room, these 9 other women are all seated, and they were all different ages and weights and colors and sizes, and it was really funny, because in that room, every single woman was seated in the exact same position, and it looked like this. Just defying gravity. And so you wait until they call your name, and then you go into a very, very cold room. Why it is the temperature of a meat locker, I have no idea. But you walk into that room, and there's a humongous piece of medical equipment sitting in the middle of the room. And you're supposed to walk up to it, and a person whom you've never met now asks you to take off the top. It took you so long to figure out how to get on. And they want you to stand very close, and they basically want you to lay it up on the altar. And some have a greater offering than others. Some just have the widow's mite, but bring whatever you have. Just right. Yeah. And what's weird is if they don't like the way you have put your offering up there, they will move your offering for you. And this is the point where you're attempting not to make eye contact. Till they get done, and then she walks over to the other side of the room and she flips a switch. And you hear a motor. And down from the ceiling comes down this clear plastic plexiglass plate so you can watch like an out-of-the-body experience. And right when it gets right here, you're wishing for your deodorant, right now. And baby, when it does make contact, you can watch because that thing starts spreading out. Spreading out. For some of you, it's like too much waffle mix in the waffle iron. And right when you feel that tear forming right here, they will shut that baby down and she will walk over to you and say the most insane thing you have ever heard in your life. Now, is that all right? Then she gives you the two instructions that make no sense to me, girls. The first one is, now don't breathe. As if any woman could breathe in that position. And then she says, don't move. I'm thinking I got nowhere else to be right now. Right? Yeah. What you think they are doing is looking for lumps. They are trying to squish them out before they get started. That is what they're trying to do. It's preventative. And I have learned these two things, ladies. If you will schedule your mammogram the same day as your best friend, you will laugh your way through yours, knowing it's happening to her in the next room. Then as soon as it's over, you can both get in the car and go somewhere and get coffee and chocolate. Those babies will fluff right back up. That's the truth. That is true. It's true. People say, you write your own stuff? I say, you don't have to write that. It happens. You just talk about it. I would like to find out in the room tonight if we have any breast cancer survivors. Do we have any women who have beat that thing? Stand up wherever you are. Stand up wherever you are. We got some over here. We salute you. Awesome. God bless you. Now, in all seriousness, they would be the first ones to tell you that you need to go and get your mammogram if your doctor has ordered one. Or if you're 39 and you know your body's about to fall apart, go ahead and get it while everything's still good. But you know, they can detect so many things so much earlier these days. So do not be afraid of it. Whatever you can laugh at, you can survive. So just think of me when you go. Okay. It's true. So as we get older.
All right, I saw some smiles and some laughs. So again, if you have someone who's going for the first mammogram, I think this would be very entertaining for them to see in advance. Or just for yourself, the day before your next mammogram. You know, think about it. And know that you've earned yourself a drive-through to the Starbucks afterwards, according to Anita Renfro. It's all part of the plan. Go ahead.
We would like you to join us by checking out on Connect, our new community that we have created, Breast Cancer Supporting Our Sisters community. This community is to share resources, information, and support for our sisters. This community will be joined by survivors and sisters who will support them. So as I said earlier, if you have some important facts or to share a story, here's where you can do that. Thank you for attending our Zoom breast cancer awareness event tonight. We will share a copy of our Zoom recording to the all members community as well as the breast cancer community soon as a resource to allow you to help others be aware. We are thankful that you could be part of supporting our sisters in Alpha Delta Kappa. And thank you for wearing pink today to honor our sisters who are fighting the battle or have fought the battle to survive even longer. And please remember that breast cancer affects everyone. So by supporting our sisters, they know that they can count on you. And thank you again for joining. I just want to say this. I just looked at the date, and 2 years ago was my breast cancer surgery to have the double mastectomy. So obviously I'm 2 years in that, but that would be 17 years I've been a cancer survivor. So I just looked at the date and I went, oh my goodness, that was 2 years ago. So thank you again. I know that our survivors are so thankful for our sisters. And Allie, thanks for that great conversation, because sisters are the best. I know that, and you know that. So thank you. Share this with your members of your SPNs, and thank you, thank you, thank you.